Hey guys, it's Lloyd8304 here, and welcome to my Ninjago CMF draft. All credit for the original concept of this series idea goes to Just So Good, so shout out to him. Go check out his CMF drafts if you have not already. There's some amazing work drawn up by Ashnflash as well, so go check those out. As well as MiniBrick Productions, he also does some great work. Anyway, in today's CMF draft, I'm going to go through a list of what I think would be in a possible Ninjago collectible minifig series. There are going to be very limited new molds because I feel like LEGO would kind of cut corners with this, or produce as many new molds as possible because it's a non-licensed theme. They wouldn't need many new molds because they are LEGO figures and they don't need to translate anything from human form into actual LEGO form. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let me know if you disagree with anything or what minifigures I should have put in here instead. Maybe I'll do a series too. Who knows? But let's get on with our first minifig. For our first figure, we have Pink Zane, and this minifig series would be very incomplete without this figure. So what they would do is they would recolor the 2011 mask piece, and they would reprint the original Zane torso and leg print on the pink body instead of a white body how it was originally printed. He would have his two shuriken devices as an accessory, and the same 2011 Zane head that they've used for like 6 years. The next figure in this list is the Blacksmith version of Kai. LEGO could have easily included this with the Blacksmith shop. Instead, they chose to go for the regular 2011 version of Kai, but I understand why they did that. So he would have the same 2011 hair and headpiece, which the hairpiece wasn't released until 2014 anyway, but he would have a new mold for a bent katana, one of the few new molds in this series. He would have a double-sided face with both faces that you can see on screen in front of you right now. No dual molding required here because the leg print would be enough to cover the front, and they wouldn't have to go to the back because it wasn't like that when they released the show in 2011. Our third minifig is the Anacondrai version of Skylor from Tournament of Elements. She would have a reprinted serpentine tailpiece. Her torso would be the same, just with one purple hand. Obviously a new headpiece, and a recolor of her hair from the Elemental Masters Battle Pack. And as for her accessory, I chose a printed 1x1 cylinder. It's not shown on screen here because I couldn't find a good reference image for it, but it would have a small 1x1 cylinder with a printed pythor on it because that accessory would be pretty good to represent a Tournament of Elements scene. Next up, we have one of only 2 Elemental Masters in this series, because I feel like LEGO would actually limit that to 2. They might do 3, but I chose 2. The first one being Belobo, the Master of Nature. He would have the Series 1 Caveman hairpiece in reddish brown, dual molded legs with sand green and yellow, and printing as well. He would have a staff with a leaf piece on it, possibly a new mold for the staff. I don't feel like LEGO would, because the staff that they have is perfectly fine to represent that, and the leaf piece is shown on screen. Our fifth figure in the series is Gravis, the Master of Gravity, the only other Elemental Master to be included. He would have a recolor of the turban piece in dark red. I'm not sure if LEGO has made it in that color yet. And he would have a double-sided face, dual molded legs with red and reddish brown. And he would have the build for him to float, which was originally made in the Iron Man and Dumb E polybag, and you can see the picture of that on screen now. This little build wouldn't be necessary, but since I have a lack of accessory, I feel like they would do something like this to give him something else in the bag. Next up, for our sixth figure here, we have Young Woo. He would have Jay's hairpiece in light tan, which has already been made before, so they would just need to produce that again. And he would have a double-sided face, and his staff would possibly be a new mold. I'm not entirely sure if they would do that or not. As for his torso and legs, it would be new prints to match what is seen on screen, and he would have back printing to show that symbol that he wears as well. Our seventh minifig in this series is Young Garmadon. He would have Anakin's hairpiece in dark brown, which again has been made before. He would have a double-sided face, one with him being kind of angry, and one with him having the expression similar to what is shown on screen right now. And he would also have the same staff as Woo, new prints for his torso and legs as well, because these prints have not been produced in LEGO sets before. Our eighth figure in this series would be Dr. Julien. He would have the Widow's Peak hairpiece in white, a double-sided face, a screwdriver, and blueprints for Zane or the Falcon, or both maybe. I don't know what LEGO would do. Probably the Falcon, since Zane's blueprints have already been made. And he would have dual-molded legs with white and light bluish gray. Since he was an important character in Season 2, I feel like they would have included him for the fact that he hasn't been made before, and there was multiple opportunities to make him as a minifig. The ninth figure in the series, another figure that should have been made, is young Morro. He would have his regular hairpiece with the green stripe printed on it. He would have short legs. I feel like LEGO would not use mid-legs since they were not introduced when the season came out. And he would have a new kite mold from the monastery scene. Unfortunately, I cannot find a picture of that to show you guys, but if you rewatch Possession, you will know what I'm talking about. So, for our 10th figure, another figure that should have been made a long time ago is Lou, Cole's dad. He would have the Series 7 computer programmer hair in dark brown, and the blade cut, which would be made of a trophy piece in gold with printing on it, and the blade that would go in it would be the Silver Fang. He should also have a cane as his accessory as well. For that, I feel like they would do either a 4-long bar or one of the Harry Potter ones, just because I've seen them use both of those pieces as canes before. The 11th figure in this series is our Hands of Time representation, or, well, maybe it could be Day of the Departed. Either way, it's Dr. Saunders. He would have a new mustache piece that would go around the neck like most mustache pieces do. He would have a double-sided face, one with the other side being the Achronic's face that he has. He would have the same hairpiece included in Dawn of Iron Doom, and his accessory would be a 1x1 printed tile with a pocket watch, since I couldn't think of anything else for him to have as an accessory. Our 12th figure in the series would be young Lloyd with the green ninja suit and hairpiece. He would have a recolor of the bowl cut in light tan, the green ninja suit obviously because that's what this figure is, short legs because LEGO did not have mid-legs when this series would have ideally been produced 2 or 3 years ago, and a double-sided face. He would also probably have his staff as an accessory, and they would probably include the hood for the green ninja suit in the bag as well. Our next minifig in the series is Cliff Gordon. He would have the Percival Graves hairpiece in plain black, the recolored Series 17 Retro Spaceman blaster in light blue because I feel like that would be a perfect accessory for him, and he would have dual molded arms with light and that light blue or maybe even sand blue. No double-sided face because this is really the only face that I could see being appropriate to have because there really isn't any other reference material for him because this is a statue of him in his house that Jay wanders upon. Speaking of Jay, here he is, in his Digiverse form. He would have the recolored half-mask piece in gold, he'd have the pearl gold torso and legs, with the same rebooted printing, just goldified, if that's even a word. No accessory needed, because there really wasn't one that could fit with this figure at all. Who better to come after Jay than Cole, in his evil form? He would have the gunmetal gray armor piece from 2012, a double-sided face, his elemental blade, and a darker recolor of the 2013 Final Battle Wave suit. This figure is one of the ones that is the least likely to appear. It's Nya DX. I figured this would be a figure because they did a Lloyd DX in that one minifigure pack that was a Target exclusive. It would have a new color for the 2011 mask, probably medium azure, and a spear as her accessory since that seems to be her weapon in the newer seasons. Who better to come after Nya than her brother Kai? Kai is in his prison suit as seen in Cryptarian Prison from Season 6, aka Skybound. He would have a double-sided face with his regular face expression on one side, and then the expression you see on screen on the other, just because I couldn't find any other reference material, and this image was very hard to find alone. He would have his hairpiece introduced in 2013, and handcuffs in light bluish gray, but potentially in gunmetal gray if LEGO doesn't decide to cheap out on this. Our 18th minifig in this series would be the police commissioner to go along with Kai to arrest him. He would have a new print for the police cap piece, he would have a new mustache piece, as well as a pair of handcuffs, potentially in gunmetal gray, but we all know LEGO would do the light bluish gray ones as I mentioned previously. For his torso print, I'd imagine they would do something similar to a LEGO City Policeman from around 2010, because that's what this reminds me of, and his face print would have the mustache printed on underneath, similar to how they do Master Wu minifigs. Our 19th minifig is one of the newer additions to this list, would be Casual Harumi. She would have a new hair mold in white. I'm not sure if LEGO has this piece existing already. I didn't do too much research into it, but I don't think they do. A recolor of the wild style hood piece that went around her neck in dark green, and a bag of food for the kids, as well as a new torso print that looked like a jacket covering up her royal garbs. And our last figure to round out the series would be Jay's mother. She would have a new face print, the Series 5 fitness instructor hairpiece in the bright light yellow color, and a lightning piece to symbolize her lightning power, which you can see on screen. New torso prints, obviously, and possibly dual molded legs. I don't have a better shot to figure out if she would have dual molded legs or not. I believe they would probably just be regular dark blue, maybe a little bit of lightning detailing on them, but not much more than that. With that, I would like to thank you guys for watching this CMF draft. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, credit to Justy Good for creating the idea of this, and Ashnflash for drawing his work, and MiniBrick Productions for doing his stuff. You guys are all amazing at what you do, and I did not pay for anything here. I used images just because I didn't want to pay money for drawn art that would never be used again outside of here, and somebody could also possibly steal. But a couple figures I could have thought that should have been included that weren't, that I ran out of space for, would be Anacondrai Chen. I ultimately decided to replace him with Kai because I feel like LEGO wouldn't do 2 Anacondrai minifigs in one series. I would definitely include him in a series 2 if I do, and depending on how well this video does. Another couple notable figures that were left out would be Natacon in his human form when he has his legs, and Cyrus Borg in his civilian form with the wheelchair. I left those figures out because I feel like LEGO wouldn't make those until a series 2. But that's about it. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Brother from Another Brick for helping me go over this series, make sure everything looked good. Shout out to him. You can check out his channel with the end card here that you see on screen right now, as well as be sure to subscribe to my channel and tune in for Series 2. Let me know what other figures you think I should have included in the comment section below. Anyway, with that, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next video. This is JimBlade8304 signing off. Bye.